even remaking documentaries these days. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. As part of my coverage of the 2023 Toronto International Film Festival, today I'm going to be talking about the 2023 sports comedy Next Goal Wins, which will be released in theaters on November 17th. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content, like reviews, rank lists, and trailer reactions. All my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Next Goal Wins stars Michael Fassbender, Kaimana, and Oscar Knightley, and was directed by Taika Waititi. Based on the 2014 documentary of the same name, it tells the story of the historically weak American Samoa national soccer team, and their attempts to qualify for the 2014 World Cup under the guidance of a new coach. You know how some movies surprise you when you finally get a chance to watch them? That maybe you weren't expecting all that much, but got something impactful or entertaining? Or maybe you went in expecting a certain type of film, but got something entirely different? Next Goal Wins is not one of those types of movies. This is an underdog sports story directed by Taika Waititi. That in itself should conjure a certain set of expectations, and everything you imagine that movie would be is exactly what this movie is. All the sports movie tropes, all the audience cheering moments, all the incessant Waititi-style irreverence, it's present here. This movie does a good job of meeting expectations, but if you're hoping for a film that has a little bit more to offer than the league minimum for the genre, you're probably going to be a bit underwhelmed. With 7 films already under his directorial belt, Taika Waititi's proclivity for quirky humor is well established. He's tried his hand at a variety of comedy genre mashups: horror, romance, superhero, drama, and with Next Goal Wins, he turns his comedic sights to a sports movie. But not just any sports movie. This is a based on a true story sports movie. The real-life setup for this underdog tale sounds made up, so the silliness of the situation provides plenty of opportunity for humor here in this fictionalized account of the story. And Waititi jumps on every one of those opportunities. This is a funny movie. It's loaded with jokes, running gags, and one-liners, all with that quirky flavor you'd expect. The embellished culture shock and oddity to some of the things characters do provide Fassbender with plenty of entertaining facial reaction moments and incredulous looks, but the comedy here is a little too much at times. I'm not sure if it's the comedic style or the number of jokes or what, but I tend to only be able to enjoy Taika Waititi's humor in small doses. Too much and it veers into annoying territory. And Next Goal Wins does eventually make its way over that border. Humor is obviously a very subjective thing, and I know people who adore Taika Waititi's style and can't get enough of it. But for me, his style works best when it's cut with something else to help balance out the irreverence. Unfortunately, Next Goal Wins doesn't really have that, and instead utilizes a tone that doesn't quite work for the story. This film plays like it's trying to be a funny, feel-good, inspirational kind of story. It's a comedy, and that's fine. The humor should be present, but comedies can have real moments too that aren't just played as jokes. This particular story has lots of emotional potential. The underdog redemption story of the team, Jaya's experiences as a trans woman playing at the international level, the coach's past and family issues. These things are all acknowledged as inspirational or emotionally important in the movie, but are never given a chance to leave an impact, always immediately being undercut by a barrage of jokes. We know from past experience that Waititi is able to craft a good tonal blend. The juxtaposition between the satirical humor and heart-wrenching moments in Jojo Rabbit made that a very unexpectedly emotionally impactful movie. The opportunity for heart is here in Next Goal Wins as well. It just hits the crossbar every time. Underdog stories are inherently crowd pleasers, even though these types of sports stories are often very similar to one another. The ultimate win or lose outcome varies from film to film, but the against all odds journey to get there usually follows the same basic path. And that's certainly the case for this film too. But for a lot of subgenres, there's nothing wrong with following the playbook. Not every movie can or should be a reinvention of the genre. The by-the-books comfort of a story like this is actually beneficial and aids in its crowd-pleasing aspirations, especially with the addition of quirky humor. Unfortunately, the writing and tone here do very little to make this genuinely interesting true story memorable. This will be fun with a crowd, but subsequent viewings at home are probably better replaced by the documentary. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one is the humor, though I do want to lead off by saying that this is a bit of a mixed pro for me. I am neither a big fan nor a big critic of Taika Waititi's humor. Sometimes it works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. But for this film, I would say that it leans more on the works for me side of things. Michael Fassbender has some great facial reactions, which are always a humorous plus for me, and there are quite a few silly sight gags and one-liners that were genuinely funny. But I'd be lying if I said that the comedy didn't get mildly annoying at times. It sort of has this forced try-hard feel to it at points, but usually comedically recovers soon after. On the con side, the biggest issue is the tone. The purely comedic route just doesn't work for this story. Not only because the real-life story had some good emotional, inspirational components, but also because this movie utilizes those components as punchlines. There's this weird disconnect. The film is clearly trying to deliver on a feel-good, inspirational level, but botches it by undercutting all the moments that could have and should have been heartfelt. A little sincerity would have gone a long way here. Maybe it could have worked as is if it had been an entirely fictional story, but the tone here feels like a disservice to the true story origins of the movie. Before I give you my rating and recommendations, I want to remind you that if you're interested in buying Next Goal Wins, or any of the other films I mentioned today, I do have affiliate links for all of them in the description below. I get a small commission from anything you buy using one of my links, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd use them if you're in the market for any of these movies. I'm gonna give Next Goal Wins 3 out of 5 paws. It's a very by-the-books underdog sports story encased in a Waititi comedy shell. The crowd-pleasing sports moments are there, but the writing and tone are too inconsistent for this film to make it beyond qualifiers. I would recommend Next Goal Wins to fans of Waititi's comedy style. If you enjoy his humor, then that'll probably be enough to carry this film for you. But be aware that this is a comparatively heart-light film for him, and he pushes the turn everything into a joke thing a little too far, never giving the emotional moments time to breathe. Soccer fans and underdog sports story aficionados' enjoyment will greatly depend on their Waititi tolerance. If you liked Next Goal Wins, I would recommend Cool Runnings. Based on the true story of Jamaica's first Olympic bobsled team, this is a film that manages to be both funny and sincere. It's got some good running gags, a lot of heart, and a rewatchable crowd-pleasing underdog story. If you're looking for some more of Taika Waititi's humor, you might want to watch Jojo Rabbit. It mixes his irreverent comedic style with satire and huge doses of heart. It's a movie that definitely looks a bit iffy on paper, but the tonal blend makes it something memorable and impactful. And if you find the story and characters in this film interesting, you'll definitely want to check out the 2014 documentary of the same name. It comprehensively documented the story that was embellished and fictionalized in Waititi's version. There's some humor and certainly intrigue for non-soccer fans, but where it really excels is with its heart and uplifting nature, something that didn't fully translate to the feature film. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Next Goal Wins? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what's your favorite based on a true story sports movie? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information on this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe if you're at it to see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.